Hello and welcome. I am your host, and we're going to talk about Black Cat here. I'd never heard of this until I bought it, and then it sat around my office here for months, maybe a year. I don't remember exactly when I bought it, but I was starting to clean up some of the mess that my office has become, and I was like, where are these things? And I found them, so that's cool, thumbs up, and I started reading it, and I made it through the first really long chapter here, and when I say really long, I mean it. That first chapter's 50 pages long. Like, typically a manga chapter is like 20 pages or something, so that's kind of crazy. It was like a couple chapters in length, and I thought we'd had a chapter transition, and I didn't even notice it. We didn't. So this dude's called Black Cat. He's got a partner. I haven't met this character, this lady here, in the story yet. But it's a manga about bounty hunters. And it's done in kind of a semi-serious way. A lot of shonen manga is written that way, where you have some very serious stuff, and you have some lighthearted stuff. A lot of great things have been written in that format, like Trigun. Um, yeah, whatever. I'm not going to start listing stuff off, because if I start listing stuff off that's really great, Gunsmith Cats, we're going to be here all day. But I'm just kind of like trying to give you a sense of what the book is like. Now, we start off with these dudes, and they're called sweepers. I don't think I said that yet. They don't actually define that until we get to chapter 3. They're flipping through the book. But they're just bounty hunters. So they take this guy prisoner. He's worth a little chunk of cash, but not as much as they want. And we get a great sense of the characters right away. Our main character here, Black Cat, he's the kind of person who just wants to go celebrate. His partner is like, no, man, we need to pay off some bills. Now, naturally, he's the one that wins out. And they go to celebrate. They have a little bit of lunch. And while they're having that little bit of lunch, this happens. Like, I get here to page 10 or 13, 12, whatever this is, and I'm just like, okay, major gun battle. Which is a great way to start a story off. If you want to invest people in your story, something has to happen at the beginning of the story to pull them in. If you just start bombarding them with, here's a wall of text or whatever, or here's a lot of exposition about the world these people live in, ain't nobody going to stick around in your story. So Black Cat doesn't start that way. Black Cat starts with, we got a gun to somebody's head. We learn a little bit about the characters. Then we immediately transition back to some action. And you're looking at this, you're like, McKay's bookstore, isn't that in Knoxville? Yeah, you're correct. That's in Knoxville, Tennessee. That's not where I bought this book. I bought it up here somewhere at a Goodwill or something. Maybe a St. Vincent de Paul because it doesn't have a Goodwill sticker on it. So it's probably St. Vinny's. And yeah, I actually had a lot of fun reading the first chapter of this thing. It was like enough. I got done with that. I'm like, wow, I got to talk about this. Now, I'm not going to claim that it was great, but we get introduced to some really fun stuff. And there's a lot of fun shots. I love this panel here with all the gun shell casings. Like, I thought that was fabulous. This poor little dude's face right here was great. Our characters have neat chemistry. The guns are lovingly rendered. And when we meet our first like major bad guy, he's immediately shown being a bad guy. Like, he's just capping his comrades here, people who also work for the same people he does. And he has a great confrontation. Our hero's that dude right here. He's got a bounty on his head, so they're going to turn him in for the bounty. They run into that first bad guy. They have a confrontation, and it was absolutely fantastic. I loved it. I don't know if I'm going to do a chapter by chapter thing with this like I did the Joker manga. I don't know if this is like really worth like me praising that much. But I tell you, for the $1 or $2 or whatever I paid for this thing, just that first chapter alone was my money's worth. This is a hoot. And I got 2 volumes of this thing to go through. So I'm actually really excited. I'm going to chew through this in the next couple of days. So you may see another video about the rest of Volume 1 and a video about Volume 2 or something coming your way. I'm not sure. If you've never read Black Cat and you get the opportunity to buy this so cheap for like $1 or something like I did, I would say it's definitely worth doing. Like, this was like $1 worth of fun for sure. Probably more than $1. I probably would have paid full price for this at the time if I'd known about it, which is what, like $10 or something? Oh, only $8. Of course, that's like the year $2,000, so it's worth a lot more than $8 today. This would be like $20 today. But fun stuff. And the resolution of chapter 1, very manga, because it doesn't change the status quo, but stuff happens and it's exciting and it actually progresses the story and lets you know about the characters. Like, it's really fun. A lot of Japanese stories will do that very effectively, where they will advance the story, but the overall status quo doesn't change. Like, our characters don't become billionaires, is what I'm trying to tell you. But a lot of fun stuff happens in that first chapter. Alright, I'm going to get out of here before I just spoil everything that happens in that first chapter. You all take care of yourselves, and I hope to see you again next time, and maybe I'll do another video about Black Cat soon. I'm not sure. Bye-bye.